Pickaxe.
Our Patreon is now free. Yes, you heard me, free. Patreon.com/CastParty now has a free tier available to show your support for the show, which also grants you access to our community Discord, home of the most wholesome and amazing community this side of the TTRPG world. The cast and crew is an incredibly active and wholesomely aggressive community that hosts regular TTRPG games together, game nights, hangouts, and so much more. Join in on the fun, chat with the cast members, and become a part of a truly special community, all while showing some love to your favorite D&D podcast. Patreon.com/CastParty. Get going, come on, click the link down in the show notes. We'll see you there. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the episode, cast and crew.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Fables of Fendraeya, Wyldacre. My name is Jose Polino, or at DMJoseP on TikTok and other fun socials, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by my lovely, spooky, but incredibly adorable cast and crew, beginning with Ryan.
Hi, Ryan McManus, and I will be playing Fiffin, the Maker-Taker-Hater-Sater. You can find me on my personals at Rye.McManus or running the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D.
Next we have Nigel.
Hello, Nigel Deacon playing Pond, your favorite froggy friend, hopefully finding a future family. You can find me at Nigel Sucks LMAO on every social that matters.
We have Betty.
Hi, I am Betty. I play Quinn, the mighty owlin who is as righteous as she is small. You can find me at who.the.lovely on TikTok and Instagram.
And finally, we have Seth.
Hello, I am Seth. I am playing Cheese the Corgi, Shadow Monk / eventual Gloomstalker Ranger. You can find me at Noctopus on TikTok.
So last time we met, the four of you were hanging out throughout town, this very specific and beautiful yet very mysterious town, simply called Town, here in Wyldacre. You all sort of woke up to the enormous horns and sirens and ticking messages and all kinds of different notifications, if you will, that the Tiempos tree, this massive illustrious tree that sits at the very center of town, brought upon all of you. With that, you begun your day with an entire array of little tasks and things and checkups. But the one that drew the most attention to pretty much all of you by the end of it was this individual named Pertison. Now, Pert, this elf in ragged, tattered clothes that owns a shop within town, really wanted to speak to Quinn. Really wanted to get her attention for a certain very secretive and very hush-hush kind of task, if you will. Upon finding Quinn with Pond and Fiffin and Cheese in the Cruel Butterfly Tavern, you were all led back to Pert's shop, the Fickle Trust, where there you discovered that upon one of his shipments of all different kinds of items, as Pert's shop is this shop that offers all kinds of different items. Potions, weapons, magical items, and perhaps a couple of other secrets that you're not fully aware of. He received something very, very surprising. For lack of better words, just a legitimate baby dropped off at the footsteps of his door. Now, the thing that's really interesting about all of this is Pert, one, wants nothing to do with this baby, but two, once this baby was dropped off, someone came knocking at Pert's door. This frightened Pert a little bit, which is why he decided to go and find the ever watchful eye of Quinn to hopefully seek some protection, some arrangement, something that could alleviate him of the task of having to raise a child. But with that, as you are all standing inside of the Fickle Trust, some of you up in the rafters, some of you kind of standing around as the boards of the central entry area to the shop is all just open, and the blanket that seems to cover this baby is hoisting the baby up in the air, just sort of like ethereally floating in the space. You see a baby with tan skin, jet black hair, very, very short, but these piercing blue eyes. The baby stands there floating as Pert just offered you this chance to take the baby to the celebration of Trez, which would be very beneficial for you guys as well as Pert, as he doesn't have to deal with it. But in turn, if you choose to do this task, Pert offered all of you an item from his shop. The baby now sort of floats into space as Pert looks to all of you and says, "All right then, so we have a deal? No? Yes?"
I believe we do have a deal, Pert.
Great. Love to hear that, Quinn. Truly, whew. He brushes fake sweat off of his forehead. His entire demeanor now completely relaxes, and he goes back into the individual that you're sort of more aware and more commonly associating with in this town. Well, okay, well then let's get to business, right? Shall we? Here you go. Snaps his fingers and the blanket falls to the ground. The boards on the floor close up, and the blanket sort of almost eternally keeps going until it forms like a little nest, and the baby, like a pillow, lands on top of it. All right, that's yours now. Please feel free to take at least one item. Now don't get too greedy, okay? But we can do one of several things. I can choose the item for you, or y'all can tell me essentially what it is that you're looking for, or my favorite, we can leave it up to chance. This is, after all, the fickle trust, where your trust is never earned, but your respect is somewhat guaranteed.
Pert, you might want to work on your slogans there. I don't know if that's quite hitting.
You know what, Fiffin? Different businesses. All right, let me do my thing. I'll let you do yours.
True. All right, show me what your business is then. I'll take random.
Yeah, is the chance like a game?
Sure, yeah. It's I got a box in the back, couple things inside, a little random.
I like that.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Great. And Quinn?
You can pick mine for me. I'll just, Quinn is gonna walk over to the baby and, because it is a nest, is going to just sit on the baby in the nest. I'll be here.
Thanks, Quinn.
Welcome.
Right, okay, I'll just let it be. Let it be.
Do you know how to raise a baby, Pert? I didn't think so.
Oh, okay. You know what? This is a good point. All right, I'll be right back. And you watch as he scurries off to the back, leaving you seemingly for the moment alone in the room with this baby.
Cheese will approach the baby and sniff it a little bit, and Quinn permitting, I'd like to give a little taste test.
Mm-hmm.
He sniffs and kind of licks its face. Get a feel for what this baby's whole deal is.
Are you performing an investigation check?
Yes, investigation. Sure, I have a -1 in that. 16.
You lick the side of this baby's face. Very soft, very smooth. The child just kind of stops and does that thing where it looks at you and then just... and then begins to cry.
Immediately stop.
Oh no.
You've definitely seen babies like this before. This is probably a baby from where you're from. There really isn't much to tell. The baby is just covered in this blanket. Nothing else about it that sort of stands out to you. Except the eyes. That color on the pupils, that's not at all mortal descent, if you will. That's something else entirely. You don't have eyes like that where you're from. This blue has this extra touch of iridescence to it.
You know what? I've seen a lot of people before, but the eyes on this one feel, I don't know, it's like I can't stop looking at them. They're very pretty.
He is crying, so I imagine the tears are kind of making it sparkle a little bit more than it normally would.
Oh, yeah, I'll stop. I need to get my scent on that baby, though, if he's going to be traveling with us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he'll cry no matter what, so...
If we're not supposed to eat that, why are you licking it?
A good question.
Very good question. One that, up until now, I never really asked myself. Is it weird that I lick things?
I don't know. I've only known this to be food.
I'll stop if it's weird. I just don't know.
It's discovery and affection.
Mm-hmm.
Weird that they're one and the same, but that's just what you do.
If it's gonna keep crying every time, I'll stop.
Pond, not wanting to poison anyone with this new, information of licking things, goes over to, an orb he doesn't recognize or understand and sticks his tongue to it.
Next to one of the, vials, there is this small crystal ball with a single red line that goes around it.
He just sticks his tongue to it and then retracts the tongue. I guess I don't like that enough.
You didn't learn anything from it?
What did you gather?
It tasted a little bit like dust. Maybe next time. I'll find something else.
Cheese, Fiffin, and Pond roll a percentage dial for me.
61.
71.
Holy shit. 100.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Betty, for you, roll a d20.
Ooh. 7.
Pert comes out, and you hear as he's dragging what looks like a big crate with these black handles on the side. And the crate itself, it's adorned with all kinds of these arcane runes all around it. All right. Now, should have had you pick it. Okay. And he just kind of shoves his hand in there, and he takes out for Nigel, you were 61?
Mm-hmm.
Takes out a little potion. All right, now you, little one, this is for you. Allows you to get to climbing. So, get to climbing, little one. So you have a potion of climbing.
Okay.
Are you not good at climbing there, Pond?
I usually just jump.
Do you think you could combine the two? Jump, climb?
His already wide eyes widen further. You are seeing most of the eyeball at this point. Thank you.
All right, you, Fiffin.
Mm-hmm.
Reaches in, pulls out a smaller kind of triangular vial with what looks like a really thick black liquid inside that has a sheen of green light right above it. All right, hold this one with 2 hands now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold it. Perfect.
Yep.
That's some good oil right there. That's some good oil.
Pert, I can't help but take offense to you giving me this.
Look, to each his own, right? Okay.
I suppose.
So you have an oil of slipperiness, and then Seth.
Yes.
This is probably not dangerous at all. Here you are. And he pulls out a wand.
Oh, no.
Don't really remember what this one does, but I'm sure you'll find out. Here you are.
I absolutely will figure it out.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh boy.
So you have, for lack of better words, you have just a wand right now. You would have to figure out essentially what it does.
Wand parentheses question mark.
That's exactly what I just wrote in my notes. That's so funny.
You get this stock in all the time, you're supposed to take shipment. You can't look it up in your logs, nothing like that. You sell these all the time. This doesn't look familiar in the slightest.
Fiffin. Hey, Fiffin. Hey. Can't reveal my secrets now, can I?
Oh my god.
He's right. He can't reveal them.
Jeez, do you mind if I carry your stick real quick? Just 2 seconds while Quinn gets her gift.
Sure. I hand you my magic wand.
The gem on the back of the glove, the bright green gem on the back of the bark gauntlet, starts to crackle a little bit. As I place it into the palm of the hand, the electricity from the fingertips starts coursing up and down it, and I would like to cast Identify on it, please.
You're casting Identify while Pert comes up, and he has an item that is concealed in leather black wraps. And he walks over to you, Quinn. Okay, now you asked me to pick for you.
Oh boy.
And you're doing me a solid here. You really are. I'll give you this. Now you have to promise to just be very careful with it. It's the only one I have.
You've made me make a lot of promises today, Pert.
Right. Yeah, but that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. Promises lead to friendships, and friendships lead to drinking at the Cruel Butterfly.
Pond is writing that down. Okay, friendships, promises, drinking at the butterfly. Blue, question mark?
Oh my god.
Go ahead and roll a d4 for me, Betty.
Oh boy. I'm not using the same dice I just used. And that was a 4.
You watch as he opens the wrappings, and there are 4 gems. Picks out an emerald. Hiva, that's for you. Keep it. With that, if you ever wanted to have, I don't know, something a little bit bigger on your corner, perhaps something that could really land a quick 1-2 while protecting this thing, as he points to the baby, you can summon one of them water elementals. Might serve you good in the future.
Ooh.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
Interesting.
Pert, this is the first step to friendship.
This is the first step to friendship. Ain't this wonderful? Look at all of us sitting around, having drinks, delivering babies. Oh, this is truly a treat. Now, yes, you have an elemental gem, you have an emerald, which allows you to summon a water elemental.
Awesome.
Sick.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Right. Okay. Well, now what's really just left to do is just to celebrate by having a drink. What do you all say?
Oh god.
Okay. Shh. Just keep it quiet. Fickle Trust.
Are you open today?
Pert turns around to you and he goes, shh. It's the ones from earlier. You need to hide. It's the individual, the cloaked individual that came.
Hide the baby somewhere.
Open the floor.
Cast Pass Without a Trace.
You can do one thing. What are you doing?
I would like to use mirthful leaps and jump up to the rafters where I saw Cheese and Pond hiding earlier. I need to roll a d8. 7. I can jump 7 feet straight up with the mirthful leap. I'll scoop up the baby from the nest, probably spook Quinn a little bit, and just squat down as low as I can. The scales on my scale mail armor do a little bit of a wave as I almost power up and then shoot up into the rafters.
So Cheese, you and Pond notice as Fiffin lands there with the baby very quietly with your Pass Without a Trace.
I'll do the same.
I don't want to crowd the same spot, so I think Cheese jumps into an open crate, but that way where his butt's kind of sticking out and he has to use his hind legs to kind of climb the rest of the way in, and I'm just hiding in there.
I just want to shoot and fly to the back room. As soon as I clock that Fiffin's got the kid and the kid's good and 2 people are up, then I'm out.
Gathers himself, and just before he can open the door slams open, and it swings sort of broken off the one remaining hinge that was there. And from it, you see a minotaur. Black hair, 1 broken horn, and 1 arm that is just complete armor, brandishing a big axe strapped to its back. Walks in.
All right. Well, are you the owner of this fine establishment?
And then from the back you hear, yeah, are you the owner of this fine establishment? And you watch as a Kenku, black cloaks, gray feathers, and a white beak that comes out of the black cloak, gathers up to the side of this individual, frantically looking around him, but doesn't necessarily bother to look up too much. That's right, that would be me, Pertison, at your service. May I interest you in some... And as he goes to talk, the Minotaur raises his finger. The room goes quiet. I need you guys to give me a stealth check for me.
Ooh, Jesus.
I got +10.
Oh, thank goodness. 33 with the +10.
32, damn.
21.
That's a 17.
Can somebody roll a d20 for me for the baby?
Fiffin's got the baby.
Fiffin's got the baby.
Roll for baby.
Shit.
Roll for baby.
Roll for baby.
Oh no, the baby got an 8.
Well, it's not an 8 in stealth. You watch as when all of you get really quiet and you sort of allow yourselves to sort of use the shadows to your advantage, as it is fairly dark on this upper part of the shop. You all look to each other. The Minotaur takes a second, scopes around. Just as he looks up, the baby just vanishes and appears right next to Quinn. And just looks at you and almost like wants to start laughing.
Pond, I lost the baby.
I'm gonna puff my feathers up. I want to try and scare him and make him quiet. I want to stop his laugh.
He's just kind of like entertained, and you see his eyes are glowing. The blue is now sort of like a light from within. And the baby just kind of stops and looks around now. And then, just as the Minotaur was looking up, he catches his eye and goes,
Wenya, come on over here, darling.
and you watch us slithering from behind into the shop, dressed in layers of fabric, long boots, a sleeveless tunic with exposed shoulders, a tabaxi, white and orange fur. And she comes in and she just kind of looks around and she goes, wow, this is a not very well kept establishment, if I do say so myself. Pertison, you said? Right, yeah. Okay, well, I'll tell you this. We're looking for something that perhaps you might have. If it's in regards to the items that I sell in my shop, then we've got plenty. What are you looking for? Wanya, this tabaxi, looks up and she goes, well, I don't know. Perhaps something fairly small, made of flesh, coos like a baby, is a baby. Something tells me that our communications were right in where this baby was last seen. Well, you've got me beat there, right? Babies, we don't deal in that. We only deal in the material things, right? Weapons, potions, little bit of fun juice, things like that. If you're looking for a baby, may I suggest the nearing town over? You might find yourselves a couple of individuals that might scratch that itch. Okay, all right. I'll tell it to you like this. And from the back you hear these heavy footsteps as an orc is standing there, tattered tunic, ripped to shreds, shoulder armor on both arms, long brown hair, but rich purple skin. It's sort of like blocking the entire frame of the door. You see this one right here? Uh-huh. Well, we will be in town. We'll touch base with you whenever you can provide this baby. Because we know very well, Pert, that the baby was dropped off here. Do I make myself clear? Again, I'm not. And she goes, I didn't ask for clarification. I asked if we were clear. Yeah, sure. I'll ask around for a baby. Great. Fantastic. Do you have any health potions by any chance? We're actually out of those at the moment. Oh, shoot. What a shame. And here I was looking to do some business. Okay, well, Bjordor, thank our guests here. We'll be waiting outside. Best of luck in your search. And she kind of leans in and she whispers something to him.
My passive perception is 16. I don't know if that's enough.
For something so small and delicate detail, it would be passive investigation.
Ooh, if we're talking passive investigation, mine's 17.
Whoa!
You watch as her lips move, and she says, my boss is very interested in acquiring this baby. It's in your best interest, if you have this baby, which I know you should, for you to provide this baby. The last thing I want to do is, not really deliver on my promise. Does that make sense? And turns around and you watch as the Kenku goes, so, are we not, what is it? Are we done here? Is this it? We don't have a baby? Wanya, she looks at him, she goes, hee-haw, calm yourself. Let's go. I told you not to call me that. It's he! Ha! And just kind of turns around and begins to scurry out of the shop. As one by one, they all begin to leave, except for the tabaxi, who waits at the door. What did you say, Pond, your passive perception was?
16.
You see from the corner of her hand, waves her hand, seemingly tracing a pattern. And then she goes, have a good night. And then she leaves. As Pert pats himself down, The shop right now is empty, and Pert is just trying to take the door and just kind of like place it in the space.
Where's the baby?
I have no clue. It just disappeared right out of my freaking hands.
Can they normally do that?
You're asking the wrong guy, but probably not.
What is a baby? I don't know what this thing is. And now I'm a little concerned.
Let's get down. We'll find everybody. Maybe it went outside. Maybe it's on the roof.
I'll hop down.
Can I carry this baby? Or is it too big for me to carry?
When you pick up the baby, you notice this too, Fiffin, from earlier. Light as a feather. But almost to the point where when you pick him up, the baby coasts in your direction.
Oh.
Almost like defying gravity.
Zero gravity baby.
Anti-gravity baby.
Anti-gravity baby.
Uncle Perdison, can I call you Uncle Perdison?
No, absolutely not. Nope.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it.
So you saw, right? I'm not fucking crazy, right? You saw it. You saw them all. Now they're fucking coming for me. I'm fucking dead. I'm dead. I need the baby back.
Well, I don't necessarily feel safe giving them the baby.
Yeah, as I jump down, Pert, we can't give the baby over to them.
Fiffin.
No.
Now look, Fiffin.
No.
You and me, we go way back, bud. We do.
And what does that have to do with the baby?
It's either the baby or my fucking head.
Okay, well, we'll find a way to make you safe.
How about this? Just get the baby away from here, eh?
Exactly.
I mean, it sounds like they're positive you're gonna have this baby either now or very soon. So even if we took it, I think some harm is probably gonna come your way.
Okay, well, that's not a very positive way to look at this situation. I'm gonna come out of the back room with the baby.
Oh, thank God.
Quinn's got the baby.
I'm gonna go up to Fiffin so that we're pretty close. I'm within 2 or 3 feet of you, and I'm gonna say, "Catch," and try and toss the baby because he's so light. I want to see if he's still light to Fiffin.
Is it just astronaut up to my hands?
It's anti-gravity per se, but not completely defying gravity. So it won't just go, but there is a general weight to it. You toss the baby, and the baby spins in the direction of Fiffin, but then turns and then just...
It's like a balloon.
I'll hold the baby. I'll lay him horizontally and then take one finger and put it on his back and just give him a light spin.
This is the best mechanic ever.
Starts to spin, and Pert goes, "You know, I'm not quite sure you are the people to take this baby now. I haven't raised the child, but I don't think you're supposed to do that with a baby."
We kept him safe during all that. I think we got him.
Pert, do you know what a baby is?
No idea.
Someone has to know. What is this thing?
Well, I'll tell you what. I know what a baby is. Well, I don't know what this baby is. Does that make sense?
Either answer would be helpful to me.
All right, well, okay, here we go. Quinn, maybe you help me out with this.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Fiffin, fill in the blanks, and Cheese,
yep.
Still stay adorable. Well, when my mom really wanted to connect with dear old dad, they went up to the Defined Meadows. They let out a little blanket of sorts.
Oh gosh, should I go outside for this?
No, Cheese, you have to listen. It's important.
Okay.
And well, one thing led to another, and the connection, the way my dad described it was like a sexual experience beyond
okay, Pert.
comprehension.
All right, yeah, we're good.
All right. I feel like I need a permission slip to be in here.
I have more questions now.
Yeah, you're just confusing the poor guy. Please just tone it down a little bit.
Okay. A baby is made when things happen, all right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's like a smaller version of a full-grown thing.
Like a tadpole?
Exactly like a tadpole. Precisely, Pond.
What? I've been eating babies?
Oh my God. Is that cannibal?
cannibalism.
Oh boy.
Maybe we should get a drink later.
My people would catch these things, and they would be a great feast.
Eating babies being a bad thing is a matter of perspective. Don't you think?
Okay, but she's not giving you justification to eat this baby.
Don't eat this baby. Right.
Thank you, Quinn.
Thank you, Fiffin.
Now, talks of eating babies aside, Pert, I think we're the ones to carry this baby to the festival.
Right. You know, at this point, I'm just so shocked. I'm so not here, you know? I gotta go. I gotta go and have a drink. Take the items, go. I'm not coming back to my shop. If you need to find me, we'll be at the Crew of Butterfly. Perhaps at the Pinewood Comet. Not sure. Either or. Just let me have my last drink.
I am going to talk with some friends of mine, and I'm going to have them keep an eye on the shop, whether you're here or not. I want to reassure you that you are part of this town, and this town is under my protection.
That's nice. That's great to hear, Quinn.
We are friends now, you know.
We are. You know, I have a bit of a money situation happening.
No. Nope.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
While you're gone there, Pert, if you want a little more safety, I can do something with your door. Make sure no one gets in.
Ooh, yeah. You know, let's do that. That'd be great, Fiffin. What are you gonna do?
Now, here's the thing, though. I'm going to give you a password. We're going to make one together.
All right.
You cannot go over your drink limit and forget the password, or you cannot come back inside.
All right. What's my drink limit?
You know, let's go with 1.
Make a persuasion check.
Jesus. 16.
I'll do 2, but I won't push it.
Listen, I just need you to remember the password. What are you going to remember? Say you hit 3. What's the word that's going to be on your mind there?
4.
What now?
4.
That's not the password, though.
That is. It's how many drinks I'll be having, so I'll remember how much to remember. 4 drinks, password's 4.
4 for the door.
Oh, sure.
But you were drinking too.
Right, but you know, when things get a little saucy.
And what happens if you get to 5? Are you still going to keep the password at 4?
No, I'll stop at 4. Scout's honor.
All right. We all got to get out of here, though. Then I'll fix up your door.
All right. Great, Fiffin. You are just an absolute dream.
Yep.
Now get out of my shop.
When we step outside, can I look at Cheese's wand?
Yes. When you cast Identify spell on it, you know this is a Wand of Secrets. Ooh. So this wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you're going to spend 1 charge as an action to cast a Detect Magic spell from it. The wand regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn.
Ooh.
I'm going to hold out the stick to Cheese.
I lean forward to open the flap on my backpack.
I'll tuck it in his backpack. If you ever want to know what something is, just wave that wand around.
Okay. Thanks, Fiffin.
I got you. Enjoy. Before we head off, I'll take a little piece of thread. I'm going to wrap it really tight around the door and around like a stray nail on the side of Pert's shop. Pull it on tight as the electricity courses through the gauntlet, and we're going to cast Arcane Lock on the door. Setting the password at 4.
Around the door frame, a similar glow to that of you said it was like a thread. It glows and it sort of burns itself across the door frame. And Pert looks and goes, all right, I'll remember the password. Now, in all honesty, though, you gotta be careful. You really do. I don't know who the fuck these individuals are. I don't know exactly what it is that they want. They say that they dropped it off to me. Again, look, I told you the honest truth. Baby was just left here. Was it by accident? Who knows? Was it by choice? Who knows? Am I gonna have maybe 5 drinks now? Probably. So with that, I leave you all with a farewell. Best of luck. Looks at the baby and goes, you're pretty adorable. And the baby looks at it and sort of like hands stretched out, tries to reach out for Pert, and Pert just kind of goes, no.
Pert, just quick before we go. Do you have anything that might be able to connect us while we are away?
I'm all out of those kind of stones, unfortunately.
Oh, I had a rock,
Right. Now you go find that rock.
but I gave it to... No, Oris has it. I shouldn't go get that.
Did you try talking in it?
No.
I wonder who was on the other side. Oh, well.
Was something on the rock?
I feel like a lot of wires are getting crossed here.
Thank you, Pert.
Are we good to go to the festival, I guess?
Yeah, I think we are.
We're gonna have to figure out a way to keep this baby under wraps, though.
Ooh, we can put it under my hat.
You know, he is pretty light. He could probably fit.
That's a fantastic idea.
I'll put the hat on top of the baby. Then it just looks like Fiffin's carrying a pot. A wok.
Nice.
Sorry.
Wait, I have to carry your hat?
Well, I guess I can. I make that frog vibrating noise in a certain tone and cast Mage Hand to hold the baby with the hat on top of it. It will float just above me. So it's just, I'm walking around with it. It looks like I'm wearing a hat on top of something on top of my head.
Okay, hold up. So just to get the picture straight, Nigel, it's you with Mage Hand above your head, holding the baby who is wearing your pot on its head.
Yes.
You follow the same green path of grass, essentially. And here it's the opposite, of course. Instead of walking in the pavement or the ground and staying away from the grass, here you walk on the grass and every other area is the ground where you're able to go into shops and essentially is where everybody tries to not step into. It's almost like officially you step onto the ground to do things, but for leisure, you walk in the grass. But there at that moment, you hear the familiar sound of the tiempos tree, this sort of like ringing boom, 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 boom. And when it goes into that really deep note, everybody just sort of like gathers themselves. And I'll say all four of you, go ahead and give me a perception check.
8.
13.
17.
15.
Cheese and Quinn, you would know that there are many ways to leave town where you are. There is a sort of official quote-unquote entrance to town that's right behind you. But there, on top of these green and white pillars that emerge in this sort of like very regal aesthetic towers that are adorned throughout town, right? It's to sort of remind the people of the history in which it resides within Wyldacre. But perched right on top of one of the ledges of this tower is the Kenku, who is just kind of sitting there looking around. Every now and then cause a couple individuals turn around. Be quiet, will ya? And the Kenku brandishes a knife. I'll kill you! All right, okay. Cheese, you notice the tabaxi, Wania, she is standing looking at the tiempos tree. So from where you guys are, there's somebody fairly close to you, and there's out of the 4, 2 that you can see. You would know that behind the Fickle Trust, there is one exit north past the Rainy Hills. There is another exit way that sort of takes you out through another portion of Wyldacre. And then there is going through the trees. Quinn and Fiffin, you would know that going through the trees is essentially the most dangerous option, if you will. It is unmarked paths. It is nature in the Feywild at its fullest.
I still have Pass Without a Trace. I think if we want to make a decision for what we're going to do about this, we should have a little bit of time without getting noticed.
We just have to act natural. I think we could just waltz out. They didn't see us go in. They didn't see us come out. They don't know we have the baby. Right?
And I have a backup plan.
I'm not even going to ask. I trust you.
I promise it's not throwing up my own stomach.
I still want to see that.
The baby gave me an idea for a new tune.
I think I agree with Fiffin. I think if we just act cool, we'll be fine.
Yeah, if we just act natural, we should be able to just walk right by.
Pond, how's the baby doing up in there?
That is a good question. How is the baby doing?
Well, describe to me your mage hand. Is it like a standard purple mage hand, blue, any color in particular?
I was picturing like kind of like a translucent blue. It looks like my hand, or it's like a frog hand, webbed fingers, 3 fingers and a 4th that is kind of an opposable thumb.
I'll say that then through this spectral frog-like hand, the baby, it's still that sort of translucent kind of design. The baby sort of looks at you, places its hands on you in sort of like this.
No! and I like the hand pushes up. Pond like goes down to all 4s for a second because it does not want the baby touching him.
What is happening down there?
He tried to touch me, and he can't touch me.
Oh.
I kind of grab the pan in my mouth just to make sure it doesn't float away.
And how long does mage hand last?
Oh god, it's only a minute.
Oh.
Give me a dexterity check.
19.
You see the baby pressing its hands down on the mage hand, and in that moment, you sort of see as your mage hand begins to kind of like shimmer out, and you step away just as the mage hand vanishes, and the baby falls with the pot on top onto the ground.
Ooh, we're making a lot of racket here.
It's like Schrodinger's baby. He's fine under there.
If we believe hard enough, it'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
How tall was the tower that the Kenku was sitting on?
50 feet tall.
Okay. You 3 should act natural, and I'll meet you on the other side of that tower where our new friend isn't. Okay?
Meet up on the other side of the tower.
Yeah. I carefully use the pot to scoop the baby. Like, I lift the pot and scoop it. So I'm holding the hat pot.
Are you leaving right now? Are you dipping?
Yes.
Okay. I take a screwdriver that's hanging from my horns, and I'm going to use some magical tinkering to make it smell like lavender, because lavender is supposed to help you sleep. Just give this to the baby. It's kind of like a rattle. Maybe it'll put it to sleep so it doesn't scream while you're doing whatever you're going to do.
Okay. I'll see you on the other side. With baby pot in hand, I start doing the vibrating tune again, but this one is a lot lower, like it's a lower register, almost imperceptible, but still there if you're paying attention. And I'll cast Dimension Door.
Baller, yeah.
Go to the other side, 500 feet away, just on the other side of that tower, in the direction of us leaving.
This rift breaks the very fabric of reality, and it begins to glow in this iridescent blues and purples, very similar to that of town, and you step through. As you do, you hear from behind you, Quinn. Quinn, hey, hi, Quinn. As Rika is finding you, she goes, there you are. I have been looking for you for some time. There are a couple of individuals here that would like a word.
Who? What are the names? Did you take the names, Rika?
I did.
What are the names?
Well, we got an individual named, seemed very upset, Hee-Haw.
Oof.
Another one named Wania. She's the one that wanted to speak with you specifically. There is Bjordor, and then there's Rook. That one didn't get to talking much, but Wania is the one that really wanted a word. They're here on behalf of somebody.
Who?
Someone by the name of Zymus. Didn't really disclose much information after that. They just asked to speak to an official representation for town, and I thought, who better than Quinn?
Wow. First of all, thank you for thinking of me. Second of all, I need you to tell them that I'm not here. I need you to lie to them for me. Here's what's happening. Here's the thing. I have to go out of town on some business. I'm going to the festival, and I have to. It's a bit of a thing. Do I know if they've seen us?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
14.
You see from where you are, right outside the Fickle Trust, right on the opposite side by the Hollowed Oasis family farm, the big orc with the protruding teeth and the ragtag clothes is kind of like leaning up against one of the other ivory towers. And it's just kind of leaning, but seems to be like looking around every now and then. You watch as it takes its pinky and digs at something in its teeth, looks at it, tastes it, wipes his finger off. And she looks at you and she goes, okay, so you want me to lie then?
I don't want you to lie. I want you to tell them the truth, which is that I am out of town, which I will be as soon as this conversation is over. So by the time you tell them, you'll be telling them the truth anyway. And I will let you know. Fiffin and Cheese are also aware of the situation. They are a bit of trouble. Since I will be gone, I'm going to be needing some eyes on them while I am not here. Do you understand what I'm telling you, Raika?
You want me to work overtime, is that what you're telling me?
You know what? I just think that it would be... Yes, work overtime, actually, yes. That's what I'm asking you to do.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh no, persuasion. That's gonna be only a 12. Raika, please!
Well, that's a natural 1 on my end.
Ooh.
She looks at you and goes, okay, I will speak to them. And then in regards to this Zymus, am I engaging with that at all? Do you want me to gather more information? You want me to go talk to them, tell them you're not here, but you're technically not here. But, where are you going? So then I know not to send them that way. It's a lot of pressure,
I know. I'm sorry. Listen, darling. If they find you again and ask you where I am, you can say that I'm gone, and that's true. I just want to make sure that people are safe while I'm not here. I'm very anxious that people won't be while I'm gone. That includes you. So I don't want you to engage with them unless they engage with you first. Tell them I'm gone, which is the truth, and go to the festival. Have fun. It'll be great. It'll be fine. It'll be great. You don't have to work overtime. Just don't engage with them unless they engage with you. If they get aggressive, you have a few tricks up your sleeve. I have no doubt. And I will be back as soon as I can. If anything about Zymus comes up, don't poke, because I think he or Zymus is probably worse than they are.
Oh. Okay. All right. Can you just do one favor for me? Can you just tell me everything's going to be okay?
Right, Cat. I'm going to hold out my feathers.
She puts out her hands on top of yours, her twig-like hands made up of tree and nature.
Right, Cat. Everything will be just fine. I will be back shortly, and nothing's going to go wrong while I'm gone. Is it?
No.
I'd like to roll an insight check on that.
on Quinn? Go for it.
11 plus 5, 16. Cheese is watching this whole conversation, and when she says that everything's gonna be okay, just like eyes twitch a little bit.
This is a bit of a performance, right? This is for Rika. This is to comfort her. It is also just as much for Quinn as it is for Rika. There's definitely like a bit of the fluff of the feathers. The smile is a little too enthusiastic. And Quinn knows that Rika needs to hear this, so she's saying it. Whether or not she believes it is probably a different conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you down the road. Hopefully.
I will see you very shortly. Travel safe. I'm just going to turn to Cheese and Fiffin. How believable was that?
I believe that you believe it.
Let's go find Pond.
Yeah, where the heck did he just whooshed out of existence? Where the fuck did he go?
Can we talk about that?
So Pond, on your end, there you sort of emerge out with the tower, I'll say 500 feet. Yeah, you're fairly a ways away from the tower itself, in just open land, rolling hills, and what essentially looks like clouds, that the clouds themselves take circular shapes, and then they sort of coil into themselves, and when they get to the very center, the clouds dissipate into white birds that then continue to fly off. So there's this sort of landscape before you that just feels infinite. And there, as soon as you emerge out in the pot, is the baby that looks up to you. And when it looks up to you, its eyes are in that brighter blue light coming out and begins to coo and laugh and looks up to you.
Yeah, I learned that from you. Well, kinda, I guess. You inspired it. Look at the birds. Just trying to distract it and play with it while like looking around and just making sure that like there's nothing, no immediate danger around me. Like nothing looks suspicious. I assume there's probably people walking the path if they're making the journey.
I'll say that because you're here sort of like so openly, yeah, you can see that there's a good amount of people that are both heading into town. There are people that are leaving town. And then you see those same elephants off in the distance that you saw earlier that have those interconnecting bridges and sort of like circus-like tents above them that are making their way from where you are actually in a northern fashion. But yes, it looks like people are making their way to the celebration on their own terms.
We'll just sit and wait until I see them walking up or running up or whatever they're doing.
You guys know to head in that eastern direction towards Pond. However, as you guys are beginning to make your way, you see the Minotaur is walking around the town, and it picks up an individual by the scruff of the shirt. This tiefling, brown tiefling with these reddish horns, picks him up by the scruff of the clothing, brings it close, and goes,
"Say, what is this place?"
This is town? And tries to smile, and the Minotaur takes him and throws him onto the ground as other people begin to gather around, even fellow other Minotaurs that sort of like step up and look in the direction of what's sort of happening by the Tiempos tree, and they gather, and then you watch as the Minotaur goes,
"What? Just a little bit of fun is all. Trying to do some investigative work. You all go about your business now, all right?"
"Yeah, look, that seems kind of dangerous for you to be doing that. You know, or not. Up to you. Welcome to town." You guys notice that and continue to make your way out.
I'm a little anxious about leaving town with those folks in it.
Yeah, Quinn, how you feeling about that?
I am trying to decide why I am here trying to protect this little infant thing that can't. The people in town. I don't want. I feel icky. But I know we have to go help the baby. It can't help itself.
We'll make the trip quick.
Mm-hmm. We'll make it quick, and you got trusty people back there. I mean, Rika's gonna find someone, maybe.
And the other thing is, this little fleshy creature can't. I mean, it can't even speak. The people in town have a voice, and they, I'm not the only person in town who is, able to. I just think we should get on the road, and then I will feel better about going.
You know what? They're the Ents. The Minotaur and his friends might be able to handle everyone else, but those Ents are gigantic.
That's so true. Thank you, Cheese. I feel a lot better. That actually does make me feel better.
As you hear that, you see two younger elven boys that are running, and they're, "Did you see that? He totally picked him up by the scruff of his neck. I think he's bleeding from the back of his head. Oh, wow, nice!" And they just keep running towards the center of the town.
That's just bad luck, huh?
Maybe we shouldn't have listened in on that. Now I know why eavesdropping is a bad thing.
Let's just go find let's find Pond. Let's go find Pond.
Passive perception from the three of you.
13.
15.
13.
Cheese, you notice that Tabaxi is sort of looking at the square and then looks around and then sees all of you and then begins to make her way in your direction. "Excuse me. Sorry. Hello."
We could just walk.
She's never seen our face. She's never seen our face before.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
There.
I'm so sorry. I really apologize. We're new here. We've been welcomed by you guys. Sorry for my friend there. Seems a little angsty. I'm so sorry. We are just a little lost. Do you all know how kind of things operate around here?
Well, if you need anything fixed, you come to me. But that's all I know. Just fixing.
Okay. All right. What is your name?
Liffin.
Meralda. Nice to meet you.
Meralda. Nice to meet you as well.
Okay, well, Liffin, look, I'm sorry. We just needed to take some time. We're just passing through. on a bit of a job. Again, we will make sure that we're all taken care of, and no harm, no need to seek any officials for this. Sorry, I noticed you guys noticed that, and I just wanted to come by and just apologize. Wanted to, clear the air here. But anyways, great. Also, everyone talks about a celebration of a festivity of sorts. Where is that happening?
I wish I could tell you. I don't even know. That's why I'm still here and not at the celebration. I mean, if there's a grand celebration, you'd think I'd be there, right?
Sure, yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay, well, hey, look, sorry, didn't mean to ask too much. Definitely not meaning to overstep at all. Okay, well, you guys know where I can get a drink, perhaps? Where we can get a drink? Maybe get some food? We have a bit of a journey ahead of us.
Not really big into eating, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry if I came off on the wrong foot. This wasn't... I know my friend looks a little, intimidating, and he can be, but this was not called for. So we do understand that. We'll just make our way. I guess we'll just leave town. You watch as she whistles this very sharp, piercing whistle, and Bjordor look up.
What?
We're leaving.
All right, let's fucking go.
She looks at you and she goes, I'm sorry, I just wanted to compliment you. You have lavender on you. I love lavender.
Thank you.
No harm, no foul. We wish you have a great day. Also, do you know where an individual named Pertison might be located? We tried visiting his shop, but it looks like he wasn't there.
Weird. He's usually in his shop. If he's not in his shop, you can always check my treehouse. Sometimes he comes and bugs me for parts and stuff. You'll know it when you see it. If he's not there, just let yourself in. There's nothing of importance in there. If he's not there, he's bad as shop. I don't know what to tell you.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
15.
Okay, well, perhaps we'll pay your treehouse a visit. If not, we will be on our way. Sorry to bother. She kind of does a general bow in your direction, excuses herself. Have a great rest of your evening.
Slight nod. Yeah, enjoy town.
The Minotaur walks over to her and goes,
What? What happened?
and she pulls him in close. Behave yourself. He kind of looks over to all of you.
All right, let's get hee-haw.
And she then looks to him and says, we're not leaving just yet. At that point, Pond, you're still standing outside waiting, and you're looking at this baby who is looking to you with these vibrant blue eyes that seem to be getting brighter. Can you roll a D20 for me?
For why?
For why?
7.
You watch as the baby itself begins to turn gray, and then all of a sudden it begins to form what looks like a rock-like texture around it, and all of a sudden, whatever inches away from the ground you were holding the pot just immediately boom, falls to the ground.
Oh,
And the baby begins to laugh. It is a legitimate this deeper laugh coming from this baby in this rock-like formation that it's composed of at the moment.
I'm led to believe that babies don't do this. What are you doing? And he's just shaking the pot as if he was trying to flip rice, just just on the ground, just shaking it a little bit. Just frantically looking for everyone.
What's your strength score?
-1. It's an 8 total.
What they see essentially is you're moving, but the pot isn't. So you're essentially just swaying back and forth. And the baby is just perfectly sitting there, looking around, looking at you and laughing. This sort of very weird picture. What are the rest of you doing?
I think once we're out of range of the others, probably power walking like our lives depend on it.
I was just going to perch on Fiffin's shoulder or his antlers. Tell me we're doing the right thing by leaving.
We have guards in town. You're not the only one. I know you like to believe you are. Other people can do this. You can take a step away. This is why you need to take a fucking vacation sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about, Fiffin. This is a vacation. We're taking a vacation right now. We're walking toward our vacation.
What are we doing now on this vacation? Doing a job for Pert.
You know, it's more relaxing than being in the same town as Pert, I would argue.
You got me there. But no, there's an innocent baby with clearly strange abilities, kind of like Cheese.
Just like Cheese.
Cheese, are you sure this isn't your baby?
Did you hear that, Cheese?
I'm pretty sure this isn't my baby. I don't remember having one before. Certainly one that wasn't not a dog.
Do you think this baby came from where you came from?
Now that one is really interesting. I think there might be something to that. I don't think this baby's from the Feywild. It smells like, it smells a little bit like home to me.
Did it taste like home?
A little salty. But a lot of things where I'm from are salty.
What does home taste like to you?
A lot of spices. So, not too far off.
Okay, we're in the right direction at least then.
Gotta get to Pond as soon as possible before something happens to him.
Yeah, weird powers aside, we gotta do what's right by this baby. Because, all in all, great gift.
It is. It is.
Cheese, how long does Pass Without a Trace last? Is it 10 minutes?
1 hour concentration.
So I'll say that you're at the cuffs of it. You're probably like around 40-ish minutes at this point.
I'll keep it up for as long as I can.
You guys now begin to head towards the towers, and then now you see, after the sort of like kerfuffle happening in the center of town, the Kenku is not just now sitting, but it's actually standing up now, leaning and looking in that sort of same frantic state all over. And as you guys are getting closer, are you trying to sneak past in the towers, or are you trying to just naturally keep walking?
We were doing pretty okay with the nonchalance before.
Then as you guys begin to walk and get closer, as you guys are about to pass the tower from up above, you hear, Lavender? You, hey, you! And points to you, Fiffin. Why do you smell like lavender?
Just my natural scent.
Don't think so. You look pretty dirty to me.
Hey!
And begins to laugh.
Fiffin would just honestly brush it off, not even move his head to address the Kenku's gaze, and just keep trying to waltz through.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Don't leave. Are you hiding something?
No, I'm barely even wearing clothes.
That's a good point. Okay. Stay where you are.
Why?
And the Kenku flies down. And it comes down. And now you see, sort of away from the gray feathers and that white beak, these eyes are like sleep-deprived eyes. And just looks over in your direction. And then walks over and goes, I just mean to kid is all. It's a little bit of fun. This is all very new to me. Your entire physique gives me an essence of dirty, but an aura of nobility.
Oh, I am conflicted on how to take that.
Well, you shouldn't take it any other way. Perhaps what you could do is tell me where you acquired that delicious scent of lavender.
Yeah, I can just kind of make it sometimes. Or I have some in my pouch if you really want some.
Yes, I'll buy some off of you. And you watch as the Kenku begins to ruffle and pull out a small pouch.
No, it's okay. Just, you keep it. They hand him a sprig from my component's pouch.
Wow, this is truly kind of you. What did you say your name was again, stranger?
Liffin.
Liffin. You may call me Haw. And better remember that name.
Ha. Pretty easy to remember.
Right. You watch from the distance, you hear,
Hee-haw! We're leaving!
What did I say about calling me Hee-haw?
Oh, so you lied to me. You told me that your name was Haw, but he called you Hee-haw.
Turns around to you and goes, I didn't lie. Hee-haw never lies. Oh, damn it. No. I never lie. I, Haw, never lie. Thank you for the lavender. looks to you, Cheese, and looks to you, Quinn, and says, "Have a good day. And if by any chance any of you see anything strange," and then points at its beak, "just follow your nose back to me."
Cheese just wags his tail and gives him a blank look and then just barks.
Make an intimidation check.
This wasn't a scary bark. This was just like a...
Oh, no?
No, this was just like, I'm just a dog.
They give you a performance check.
Don't look at me. Ain't I cute and not smart enough to know anything?
Look at my backpack.
It's a 16.
It's a very convincing show of, I'm just a dog. When you bark, Hee-Haw kind of like coils back a little bit and then looks at you, Fiffin, and goes, "You should really get that thing controlled."
Sorry, he does what he wants.
"Well, thank you for the lavender." Hee-Haw! Waynia now screams it from the distance, I'm going! And then turns around and begins to walk in the direction of the Tiempos tree. With that, the path is clear, and sure enough, way off in the distance, you can make out what looks like pond.
I take off, dead sprint, catch up with the pond.
It turned to stone.
Where's the baby?
It's right here.
This is just a pile of rocks.
I don't know. He's just ippy rocks.
Oh no. Turn to Quinn and Fiffin just to like motion them to get over here and help us.
I'll take off.
Yep, there you go.
Pond? What?
You know, I wish I could tell you. Its eyes turned blue and now it is rocks.
Its eyes turn blue.
Yeah.
I think before the baby does weird stuff, its eyes do weird stuff first. Because when it appeared to me in the back room, its eyes were weird too. I don't know if that's a trend.
So this is not a normal thing for babies.
Well, I know as much about this kind of baby as you do. Maybe I know more about the fundamental being of baby, but babies don't normally act like this. If I'm Cheese, I'm sure you have. Do you have experience with babies, Cheese?
I mean, I've seen a few before, and yeah, that's not normal for babies to be doing this, but it seems like it's normal for this baby.
As you begin to talk, Cheese, the baby goes to try to reach for you, and in doing so, you see that the eyes sort of diminish, sort of like melted glue. The rock pieces begin to come off of the baby until the baby sort of now begins to get on the ground and begins to crawl towards you as it's leaving behind the pieces of rock.
Oh, it left goo in my pot.
You know, when puppies are really playful and they crouch really low and waiting for the other person to do something, that's what Cheese is all about right now. Just trying to keep the baby from doing anything else new.
What took you guys so long?
Well, we the people who were in the shop talked to us. Fiffin was very brave and took the lead and spoke to them. They seemed quite annoying. Fiffin can speak to it a bit more, but...
Are you okay? Is everything okay?
Yes.
For now, but I think we should get back here as soon as possible. I worry that a lot of the people in town could be in danger if we wait too long.
Okay. Well, yeah. If someone wants to carry the baby, I can make it a little less fussy.
Yeah, let's, I wonder if we can't, rig it up onto your back, Cheese. Would that bother you dreadfully?
I can think of nothing that would satisfy me more than to be a mount for this baby. Now, the only problem is I run real fast, and I know that a lot of babies aren't really used to dealing with running, 195 feet in 6 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
What if we put the baby in the pot and put the pot on your back, and then we put the baby to sleep? We can tie it to you. I have a string.
Okay, yeah, I think it's worth a shot.
Pond will once again scoop up the baby using the pot, put the pot right side up onto Cheese's back, and use the string to tie it on like a backpack. Pond will start to sing a grung lullaby, which is something I haven't thought up yet, but it sounds like frog noises mixed with like little chirps, and I'm casting catnap on the baby.
Oh.
Which, as long as it's willing, will just put it to sleep until I tell it to wake up.
You sit the baby down on top of cheese inside of the pot, and this sort of like line of musical notes made up of the air and the space begin to circulate around the baby, and the baby like tries to reach for them, but every time it touches one of the notes, they dissipate like smoke, and the baby's eyes begin to kind of close a little bit, and then the baby reaches for another one, and then it begins to fall asleep until eventually just leans its head back and just off to sleep.
Good night, little baby. I'm sorry I ate your brothers?
Different kind of baby.
Yeah.
It feels really impersonal to keep calling it baby. Could we give him a name or something?
What should we call the baby?
Fiffin will walk up at this point.
Oh, you weren't here yet?
He finally caught up.
Yeah, that's right, you're the only one with a normal walking speed, huh?
He's taking his sweet ass time.
I was strolling. Everything okay with the baby?
Yeah, now it is. It was stone.
Oh.
But the stone melted though, so it's okay.
Oh.
You had to be there.
I motion at the pile of goopy rocks.
Never seen rocks do that before. That's kind of weird.
We're thinking up a name for the baby,
Ah.
so we can stop calling it baby.
That's probably a good idea. Did we have any suggestions?
I was gonna suggest Floor, because that's where we first found it.
You know,
Guess that's it.
I have no other ideas off the top of my head, so...
It could be short for Florence.
All right.
That's lovely.
Or long for fluh.
Fleur spelled F-L-E-U-R.
Oh, we're making it fancy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Fiffin, I was just thinking about this in the 5 or 10 seconds that I've had this baby and pan on my back. Do you think it'd be possible for us to make like a chariot or something?
Ooh, that sounds fun. I love that. Give me a night. Are you comfy right now? You good?
I'm comfy for now.
For now.
We'll see how holds up to travel.
If it ever gets too wobbly wibbly, let me know. One of us is more than happy to carry it for the time being. But before bed, I'll whip something up. I just gotta sit down and gather up some stuff.
Sure. And I lift up a paw and I try to contort it to giving you a thumbs up.
Fiffin kind of takes it as a shake because there's no thumb, but it's sideways, so it's like a dap.
All right. It's a deal.
And Fiffin will start gathering up some wood scraps along the way too, and just tossing them in his bag as we're walking. Just any sort of plank that he can find and stuff like that. Little materials here and there.
Quinn and Fiffin, you guys would essentially know the most of this, but essentially the celebration of Tres is, as we kind of talked about, this celebration of the Archfey sire. There is this adoration that comes with the Archfey in a very giving way. So there is no real material value to things, right? Everything's either traded or bartered or whatever it may be. The celebration is to celebrate the fact that we all get to live in a space where that is allowed, where we don't have to stress about the things that probably different dimensions get to stress about. We get to live life as we please, as we dictate, as we find it to our liking. You know that the journey has to be north. Now, because you guys took the eastern route, you know that this path will take you anywhere between 3 to 4 days to get to the Archfey. And the celebration technically ends in 5 days. So with that, you guys begin your journey, littered with the footsteps and the wisp of fairies flying past, all kinds of different creatures Those familiar tree ants now are making their way with all kinds of different fairies and bird-like creatures on top of its branches. The elephants now sort of a bit of a distance away from you, but enough that you can still see them, and you can see fireworks shooting off from their backs and whatnot. You see the skies itself, how the clouds sort of mold into shapes and circles and then spin into birds. The clouds themselves begin to form a figure of sorts, and it's that of what looks like an elf, perhaps. Very long, beautiful ears. And the person guides its way pointing northward. Like the Archfey itself is leading you in the direction that you should go. But with that, you then turn around, and trailing behind you is a fawn. Black and green skin, coiled horns that come around, and these perfectly white eyes. You see it, not being discreet at all, following behind you, looking over at the cart.
Excuse me, please, but a moment of your time. I know you are Fiffin, and you are Quinn. I know you. I wish to take but a moment of your time, please. I saw you leaving town. I wanted to just take a moment, if I may.
Quinn?
Walk and talk with us.
Very well, thank you.
You watch as the fawn has the posture about them, seems a little bit older. Their back is hunched a little bit. They carry with them what looks like a small satchel that they're holding with both hands, and they're arched over it. And as they begin to walk with you, they say,
Pardon my intrusion, but I notice that you carry with you something very peculiar. Now believe me, whatever this is, it is none of my business. However, if I may but inquire, what is that baby doing here?
I want to use a divine sense. Detect good and evil. I don't trust this guy, and I'm not gonna tell him about Floor.
I'm gonna put a little bit of distance between us, and me and myself and the fawn.
My concern is the Kenku had very specific coloration. And I'm worried that this might be a shift type situation. Like if this is just the Kenku in a different form. Because it was like the white beak and the, you know what I mean? So I'm just also maybe, I don't know if like an investigation check or an arcana roll maybe, but also trying to suss that out.
We'll begin with detect good and evil. The first thing you notice is the touch of origin, fey in nature of the fawn. But then you also, I'll say just for this, because I believe it should be a part of it, there is a general warm aura that you feel when you cast the spell, which over time you've associated warmness with getting close to someone, whatever your definition of good is.
Okay.
Cheese, as you sort of like put a little bit of distance between you and the fawn stops and goes,
Oh, no, please, I do not mean to scare or frighten. I am but a fascinating fan of that which does not belong here in the Fae and all of that. I pretty much reside to myself over at the Breath of Ink.
Are you going to the festival?
I would certainly like to make my way to the festival. I separated from my party but a few minutes ago once I caught wind of you, Quinn, of course, and Fiffin making their way out. And as I got a little closer, I first wanted to just inquire about something else, and then I noticed that.
Here's the thing about the baby. What's your name?
Oh, Yermo. That is my name.
Yemo. The baby is under our protection.
Very well, as the baby should be.
It doesn't quite matter where he came from. Matters where he's going. And he's coming with us to the festival.
Very well, that's a most wise decision. My original point of coming to you was to simply ask, just to inquire what gift you have brought, or you were bringing to the Archfey. But then, in doing so, I also wish to part some information with you, if I may.
Of course.
We are Fey-touched. You, I, Fiffin. This breaks all laws of that. This baby. this child. The longer you keep the child here, the more potentially dangerous it could be for the spirit.
Of the baby.
Correct.
I see.
I'm amazed by this. These are just in my teachings, in my books. I find these things and I cannot believe I am looking at a mortal, primordial self. I can't. I apologize. I'm sorry.
No, Yemo, do you know about the mortal world and that plane?
It is parallel to ours. It essentially exists, coexisting with us in much different wavelengths of space and time and all of these things I wish not to bother you with. But the one thing remains is that the reason I wish to express this is because that baby does not belong here. So if I were to pass some words to our devout protector and Fiffin, do your best to keep this baby safe. And also, not keep it here for long.
Mm-hmm.
The mind is very fragile when it's this small. The effects of our world are detrimental to progress.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. Again, your baby is... kind of motions at his lips. Sealed with me. It is none of my concern. Now, let's pretend none of this happened. What are you taking to the Archfey as a gift?
Fruit.
Fruit. Good. That is good. He will absolutely love fruit. Okay. Many blessings to you all. Enjoy the festival and celebrations. The road is hard and full of obstacles, right? But as long as you stick together, you should be okay. Motions over to you, Cheese, and goes, Do not wake the baby. I was never here.
I look back at him and I don't say anything. I just keep going.
Thank you, Yemo. Travel safe.
You watch as he turns around and off in the distance, walking in a sort of similar pattern, a group of other creatures are still walking, and you watch as he makes his way in that direction.
Once he's far enough away, I slowed down a little bit to be next to Quinn. Did he say that things from the material plane shouldn't be here for very long?
Yes. Yes, he did. Cheese.
Okay.
I think, Cheese, you're a bit different than this baby, though. Zogs don't normally talk.
I mean, is that part of it?
Do you feel magical? How do you feel?
I don't, it's confusing. I've always kind of felt like this, but always to me is like literally 2 months ago, so...
I am concerned about keeping the baby here.
Well, we're getting him to the Archfey, right? They should be able to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, they should. You're right.
The Archfey, it sounds like they can do pretty much anything.
Yes, they just made a thing happen in the sky. They can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Certainly they can take Floor back to the material plane or wherever he needs to go.
I agree. How is the baby doing? Is the baby still asleep?
Baby is still asleep.
Quinn is just gonna go kind of quiet, walking beside Cheese. Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
Cheese whimpers a little bit.
As you guys continue and essentially begin your journey towards this infamous Archfey to celebrate, the general feeling around is that of complete uncertainty, devotion, and purpose. All of these different things sort of rush through all of your heads. But there is a baby sleeping on a pot on top of Cheese. And one by one, fireflies emerge from the tall grass and light your way northward. And for today, that's a wrap. Thank you all so much for listening. Wait, do we have a tagline?
Oh, we don't have a tagline yet. Make one up right now.
Oh shit.
The pressure's on.
Oh fuck.
Eat my farts. Good night.
Eat my farts. Eat my shirts, everyone. Fuck off, and we'll see you later. Pew.
All right, Nigel.
It's clap time.
Clap time.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Betty didn't have. Oh, God. We might have to do one more. I didn't clap.
Yeah, I know you didn't. You're the only one that didn't.
I didn't see Betty's hands. I got nervous.
Why are you looking at other people's
right,
hands? Okay.
Worry about your own hands.
We'll try that again.
I gotta make sure everyone's on point here. I'm the one who's gotta line this up.